Pass ahead to Stamkos. Steaming in on Miron. Backhands, he scores! Stamkos took a slash, backhands it home. Hands it across to Brewer. With the Rich. Saved by Lundqvist. Teddy Purcell in front. There's a shot. They score! Richards grabbed it. Stealing after Schuster. Abelkader running in there. There's a few members of the Lightning ready to take a number. Abelkader firing punches.
Zetterberg broken up on Hedman. Here they come. The speedy Tyler Johnson walks it alone. He scores!
There goes shooting. Scores!
What is going on, Bolts Nation? We are back. It is Bolts with the Boys, fourth period on YouTube. I'm Pappy with Big C, and man, do we got a lot to talk about tonight.
Oh yeah, lots and lots to talk about.
So, to start things off, I mean, I was on Twitter the entire game, and people were just blowing up about the officiating tonight. I'd say let's start with that.
Yeah, it was a complete joke. It just seemed way off. I didn't understand why we were getting called for the smallest things, and they were tripping us. It felt like every other play, and they were just turning a blind eye to it. That's 2 games in a row without a power play, which is like unheard of.
Right.
Like I've never heard of that happening before.
Yeah.
But we still put up 5 goals in back-to-back games without a power play. So kudos to the team for still sticking with it. Despite terrible officiating.
Right. Yeah, I mean, let's go back. I mean, obviously there was the cheap shot on Stamkos, and that was a little bit scary watching him go back to the bench like that.
Oh yeah, my heart sunk. Yeah, same for Hedman too, because he was getting off. He was going so gingerly, kind of like how Stamkos was when he was getting off the ice. So yeah, I was scared for both of them, but they both came back out and played well for the rest of the game after that. So, thankfully they must be okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I saw a tweet earlier. I forget where it was. I saw someone tweet in our feed, and they said Hedman's a Viking. He'll be back.
Yep. Yeah, he doesn't stay down for very long. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but when you see Stammer go down, like that, I mean, that's
especially his knee.
Yeah, and he takes his helmet off and he's hobbling around. I mean, that's exactly what happened when he took that hit from Nyquist.
I kind of wonder if it was more like a scare to him, like he was scared.
Yeah,
kind of like, oh, I might have dodged a bullet there.
Yeah, I mean, if I were in his shoes, I would probably feel the same way.
I think he was just a little scared, but yeah, I mean, they seem all right. And then as good to see Girardi was taking practice with the team before the game. I do kind of agree with. I definitely actually agree with them doing the having him scratch for the game. There's no point in trying to rush him back from that.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, when you rush someone back, especially with a blow to the head like that, I mean, take example from the Pittsburgh Penguins with Sidney Crosby.
Yep.
They rushed him to get back, and I mean, he comes back and then he gets his second concussion. I mean, you can't rush those guys back with head injuries like that.
No, not at all.
So I definitely agree with the call to scratch him for tonight.
Yeah, I agree too.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't say injury above his name, so it was definitely a healthy scratch.
Yep.
Which is a good thing. So
Now,
he should be all right.
Let's talk about that Palat goal too. I mean, we're talking officiating. I mean, that was probably the biggest one of the night, the biggest blown call of the night. It was the call saying
was it a trip?
Yeah, there's yes, yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, it was definitely a trip.
Well, and then Dawson too. Or I'm sorry, Kunitz.
Kunitz, yeah. Yeah, they were both clear as day. They're definitely tripping calls that they missed, but it happens.
Yeah, definitely, just blown goals and so yeah, I mean, let's keep talking. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about the calls tonight? I'd love to hear more about, because I mean, this is your guys' show. We definitely want to hear you guys call in. So the number's right at the top of our screen, 727-755-3083. What do you guys have to say about the officiating tonight? Is Toronto just way out of line? Or, I mean, what are your thoughts? So yeah, give us a call. And while we're waiting on that, let's talk about Tyler Johnson too.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's looking more and more like the 2015 Tyler Johnson for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, how's she going? You're on Bolts with the Boys, fourth period. Who do we got on the line?
Hey man, this is Jesus.
Hey, Jesus, what's going on, man?
Pretty good, good.
So what's
Watching you guys right now.
Oh yeah. So yeah, what do you got to say to weigh in on the game, man?
I mean, the beginning was a little, first period is okay, and then it got a little bit of intense. Definitely, I agree with you guys. A lot of music, not the referee's not calling all the shots, or
Yeah,
there was a little bit loose things around.
Yeah, it was
definitely.
pretty bad.
Yeah, man.
And that hat trick, I don't know if you guys already talk about it, or
Yeah, we were actually just getting onto it. So yeah, I mean, what were your thoughts on the hat trick, man?
That guy is really good, because obviously I've been watching more Metropolitan games lately.
Okay.
The Capitals fan here,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And it's a completely different game, when you go up north, you're watching more of a contact game, a full contact game, instead of I saw I've been watching the Bolts lately, and they definitely pull out more of a get the puck, get it down there, than blasting everybody through the glasses and whatnot. So watching this hat trick, I'm like, damn, these guys are killing it, because somehow they found a way of getting the puck down there, and these guys are I just saw I think it was last night or something. I saw the latest NHL lined up, and I don't know, man. These guys are definitely gonna make it to the playoff.
Oh yeah,
definitely. Yeah, for sure.
Barring some horrible injury happening, I don't see how they wouldn't make the playoffs.
Right. But yeah, no, you bring up an excellent point too. Which I want to talk about too. The idea of the enforcer in the league. When you have penalties like that. I mean, I think that the enforcer really needs to become more of a prominent thing in the league again, because I mean you have like that cheap shot on Stamkos, or Hedman, or I even saw one on Dachin too that they didn't show on camera. You need an enforcer, I mean, even though Dachin is somewhat of an enforcer, you need someone to stick up for the players. You know
who wouldn't have been having all that? Luke.
Yeah.
Luke Witkowski.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah, it's just at the beginning the game was a little slow for what I normally see. Up in the Metropolitan Division, because at the Metropolitan Division you get a more like a heat up game, and there's more, like I said, more.
Well, I mean, the Atlantic. I mean, yeah, you got the Atlantic Conference too. I mean, when you watch Detroit play and whatnot, I mean, they're tenacious too. I mean, we play in a tough conference, man. I mean, Atlantic teams, Metropolitan teams. I mean, they're all good. I mean, you have 5 of the original 6 teams up here, so definitely a very tenacious conference to play in. But yeah, man, you definitely bring up a point. And Jesus, thanks for calling in, man. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, you guys have a good night. Keep it going. I'm gonna keep watching you guys, and then jump in more calls and whatnot.
Awesome, man.
Right,
we really appreciate it, man. All right, go Bolts.
Guys, see you later.
See ya.
All right.
Yeah, Jesus brings up a good point, though, man. I mean, the Eastern Conference is it's a tough conference to play in, But let's look at the West though too. I mean, we're talking about the East, but let's talk about the West too. I mean, I know we talked about Vegas the other night.
You want to talk about
Winnipeg? Yeah, no, let's talk about Winnipeg and what they're doing. I think they're kind of like the unheard of Western Conference team right now. No one's really talking about Winnipeg.
And you know what? I'm sure they wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah, they're sneaking up because everyone's so hype about Vegas right now. Winnipeg's sneaking right up.
Yep. Definitely. Like I've noticed it when we played them earlier this season. That's a tough team, man.
Yep.
Like it's like, and they're all big. Like they're all huge.
Yeah.
They got Bufflin on there too. Still, I think they have Vanek now too. And just like everyone scores, like everyone's chipping in on that team. It's crazy how many. Like everyone on that team's like 6'5" and taller, man. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's
man.
not even fair.
No, yeah, and they hit hard. They hit real hard.
That's the kind of team the Lightning have problems with too.
Yep.
So
Absolutely. Yeah, that's been a big thing. We got another caller coming in. Let's see what we got going on. How is she going, eh? Welcome to Bolts with the Boys, fourth period. Who do we got on the line?
Hey, this is JP.
Hey, what's going on, JP?
Was at the game tonight.
Yeah?
Was at the game tonight. And first of all, the referees suck.
oh yeah, terrible.
Toronto
Okay.
sucks too.
That's the first thing I got to say. How is it? I really, really think that this is happening. Is that the referees, because to draw some parity in the league, because when you're playing weaker teams, they're not calling the penalties against the stronger team. How is it that the Bolts go 2 games without a power play?
That's unheard of.
Yeah. I think, what did we see the
let me
tweet?
tell you,
It was
there were a lot of opportunities.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they've been getting tripped left and right. We saw it all game.
who was it? Bolts
But
Jolts on
other
Twitter?
Other than that, I got to tell you, the Bolts better step it up.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
They did not look like the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight. Now, it might have been because Coop switched up lines. I mean, who would have thunk that Chris Kunitz would be playing with Cooch and Stamkos?
Yeah.
Yeah, he held his own though.
But I'll tell you, if it weren't for TJ, Tyler Johnson was the only one that was showing a lot of energy and a lot of heart
I agree.
Yep.
tonight.
Well, that was like
And
Yanni
I'll
Gord
tell
the other
you-
night against the Red Wings,
Yeah, I'll tell you, they got it. It's a good thing they were playing a weak team tonight,
Oh, yeah.
because tonight they would have been beaten by, I'll bet you, 24 out of the 31 teams this year, or because Carolina didn't look that much better.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I was surprised at the size of Carolina. They're a big team.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
they're
they are.
trying to. I think that's what they're trying to build. Is big
But,
defensive team.
But even Vasi didn't look altogether strong tonight. But I'll tell you, nobody's hitting. After 2 periods of play, 13 hits the entire game.
yeah.
Yep.
That's 6 hits a period. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
They can do better.
Yeah, I
They
agree.
got to start throwing their body around, and they got to start showing them who's boss.
Especially come playoff time.
And their puck clearing was absolutely horrible.
Oh, awful.
They couldn't get the puck out of their own zone. I'll tell you, they got to focus. Had
Yeah.
they been playing Toronto, it would have been like Chicago was tonight. It would have been 8-2.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were playing a little too
So-
loose.
I'll tell you, so they got to step it up. But good show tonight, guys. I'll hang up and listen. Okay.
All right, thanks,
All
Johnny.
right, sounds good, JP. Yeah, man, he hits home on a good point. I mean, I feel like they're kind of getting a little complacent,
I think so too, and that's why Stamkos mentioned something like kind of in response to Cooper when Cooper was talking about how he thinks there's a sense of entitlement in the locker room. Stamkos said, "I don't think any of us are feel entitled."
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, how you're playing saying a lot different. Like
Right.
it definitely seems like you guys are playing way too relaxed, and you can't. I mean, I understand it's early in the season, so, but. I don't know. They're playing a little too relaxed for me. Maybe they'll step it up against better teams.
Yeah.
They tend to play better against good teams, so we'll see.
Well, and hopefully they step it up too, because I mean this
Road trip, yeah.
this trip coming up. I mean, you got 2 more home games, so you got Calgary, and then you have Vegas the next week. So I mean, you got Calgary on Thursday, and then you go a whole week. They have a whole week to rest up and everything, and then they got to play Vegas. So if they don't step it up now, I mean, that Vegas home game is going to end up in an L, okay? And then they go on the road. They're playing Minnesota, Chicago, Nashville, and Philly going into the All-Star weekend. We need to beat Philly. We need to go into that weekend.
Philly's
with a
always
win.
a problem too.
Oh, and they're aggressive, man.
That's like I said, that's the teams we struggle with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so got all that going on. But yeah, definitely an interesting game tonight, man. I mean, we're talking about the penalties. I want to bring it up. I was we're getting a lot of heat actually on Twitter today from fans and whatnot about Callahan. Okay, I am a strong believer that Callahan is the difference maker on the PK line. I know we've talked about it, on our last show. I mean, the PK looks dead when he's not out there, and that is a huge problem.
I don't even know why this is a question anymore. Like, I mean, they've brought out the stats to prove it.
Yeah.
They've like, it's been proven. Like, the team's the team, if they went off their percentage when Callahan's not on the ice for the penalty kill, they would literally be the 31st, 32nd ranked team in the NHL in the penalty kill. Like, they're like 73% when he's not on the ice.
Yeah.
And the team's like 85% now when he's on the ice.
Mm-hmm.
It's unheard of. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know why it's a question anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
What do you guys think of the penalty kill? Give us a call, 727-755-3083. We want to hear, we want to hear, is Callahan the difference maker on the PK line? What do you think? Who needs to step it up on the PK line? Because, I mean, these power play goals, they're costly.
All of the power play goals Carolina scored, he wasn't on the ice for either.
Yep.
Once he was, they killed off the penalties. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know why it's a question anymore, but I'm not going to really waste my time on it anymore.
Yeah. So, yeah, give us a call. Let if you guys have any thoughts on anything that we're talking about. Numbers up on the screen. We also have Twitter at Bolts with the Boys 4th period. Feel free to tweet us there too. So, moving on. I know we found. I kind of want to do this as like an interesting article of the week. I know, Big C. I know you found an article about a famous Lightning player. Why don't you go ahead and give us a little insight on
Yeah. It was on. I went through the NHL trade rumors page on Twitter. They posted an article. I don't know why I didn't save the name of the website, but says coming off of the 2008-2009 seasons, the Canadians finished with a mediocre record of 41-30-11, which is good enough for the 8th seed, and the Lightning finished terribly. Like, I think they finished almost last in the East that year. During the offseason, the Lightning and Canadians were trying to work out a trade to send Vinny Lecavalier to the Canadians at the time, and I guess it kind of all went on whether or not he would accept the trade or not, and he ended up not accepting the trade. But had he accepted the trade, the Tampa Bay Lightning would have ended up with Max Pacioretty, Carey Price, PK Subban, and a first-round draft pick.
Holy smokes.
Like, that's ridiculous.
That is insane.
And it's at the time, though, I don't think Montreal knew what they had in those players. Like, I'm sure they're happy they didn't trade him away. But
they kept PK for so long, and they still didn't know what they had.
Yeah, they done. That guy's an awesome player. And he needed out of Montreal.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's just crazy to think about, all the players we could have had. You'd have Hedman paired with PK Subban as your top defensive pairing.
That's insane.
That's an all-star team.
Do you think he would have stayed, though? Do you think he would have stayed in Tampa? I mean, I know he'd be playing with Stamkos,
I don't think if he didn't stay, it would have been because he didn't want to stay. I think it would have been like the team would either have to pay Hedman or Subban. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think it would have been like I want to leave type thing. I think it'd just be like, they can't pay me. Like, so I guess I just have to leave, basically, type deal. So,
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah, so let's see what else I got on here. Let's take a look around the league actually. I know we got quite a few games going on tonight, so definitely we talked about Winnipeg. Just destroying it.
Yeah, Winnipeg's like they're hot right now, man. And they're a weird team. They're really streaky because they'll lose like 4 games in a row and then like win 9, 10 in a row. Like, and that's kind of what they're doing right now. They're on one of their streaks again.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, they're a hot team right now. And they're hot at the right time. You want to be hot going into the All-Star break. Like, the 2 most important times. You want to be hot going in the All-Star break and hot ending the season.
Yep.
So,
and I know we had Jesus call in, and he said he was a big Caps fan. Washington beats Vancouver 3-1.
There you go.
Winnipeg 7-4 over Buffalo. Chicago 8-2 over Ottawa.
Ottawa's so bad.
Why
man.
can't we do
lost
that?
to them.
Why can't we do that?
Yeah, they're bad. Like, real bad this year.
I mean,
I guess. I was seeing a bunch of Ottawa fans were saying they should try to get rid of Carlson now while they can still get something for him. because he's having a real bad
I know
year.
he's having a horrible
real
year.
bad year. So that might be something to keep an eye on. I don't think they'll get rid of him just because of his name, pretty much. Like, I mean, he's too big of a guy, I guess, there.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
I guess it depends on who you get for him.
They
though.
need some goal scorers. That's what they need. So,
you got Nashville. We were talking about PK Subban. You got Smashville beating Edmonton 2-1.
Typical Nashville game.
Take that,
right
McDavid.
2-1. Your typical Nashville final score.
Yep. It's so true though.
Oh yeah,
that is so true.
Their defense is perfect. Like, I mean, that's how you want your team to play defense.
And then our rivals to the south, we got the Panthers beating St. Louis 7-4.
Yeah, St. Louis is struggling right now, man. That start, what's happening to them is what I was praying wouldn't happen to the Lightning, and that their like hot start was just gonna be like a flash in the pan type thing. But it's looking more and more like that. St. Louis is really struggling lately.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, big game tomorrow. Toronto, Ottawa.
In Toronto?
Who's your pick?
Toronto.
Toronto? Yeah, I'd figure too.
Ottawa's bad.
Matthews, Marner, Van Riemsdyk, Nylander.
What about playoff
Marlowe.
series? Us in Toronto, who you got?
Playoff series?
Full series, I gotta go with us, right?
I have Tampa Bay in 6.
6? Okay.
6
Maybe
games.
like the veteran
Yep.
presence of the Lightning would be the difference.
I think that Toronto will give us a run for their money. Or
I
a
think
run for our
Kunitz
money,
is
I
going to be
should
big
say.
in the playoffs.
What's that?
I think Kunitz is going to be the biggest player.
Yeah.
The biggest, like, I wouldn't say shocker, but like a big contributor that we didn't see exactly coming.
No,
I
kind of
think
like
Kunitz-
TJ was a few
Yep.
years ago. Yeah.
I think Kunitz will do it this season.
Yeah. What do you guys think? What's the call on Tampa Bay Toronto? 727-755-3083. What do you think? 5 games, 6 games, 7 games, 4? Sweep. What do you think Don Cherry's take would be on it?
Oh, man. Yeah.
Here's the thing, you got the Tampa Bay Lightning that come out to Toronto. Okay, they're playing Air Canada Center. They're going to come out. They're going to score goals. They're going to play well. They're going to play fast. Okay, Toronto's got a young team, but I don't think it's going to be better than Tampa Bay.
No. Yeah, that's probably exactly how it would be.
Oh, man.
I don't know, though. Doesn't Don love, like, I mean, he's going to be pro-Canada
I know.
So.
Don's actually, he talks good about the Red Wings, too. So.
Okay. So that can be his, like, U.S. team.
Yeah.
And then he's all the Canadian teams. He loves all of them.
So, but yeah, and then you got Doc Emmerich over there with New Jersey and all that.
Oh God.
Well, hold on.
No, it's crazy that he used to be like just a regular team's.
Yeah, I was reading a story on him, and yeah, he just started commentating, and then he started commentating for New Jersey, and I got to listen to, I should post the link on our page at Doc Emmerich. During the Stanley Cup Final, Game 4 when New Jersey swept the Red Wings, and it was really cool to hear him, as just like a color commentator. He wasn't even the main guy.
Yeah.
And then now you see him on NBC Sports every night
with, like the face of commentating.
Yeah, with Pierre Maguire.
For hockey. Oh God.
I know. Pierre Maguire gets right up in your face. So, Coach, what do you think?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Oh man,
that guy's got to go.
I still think Doc Emmerich's the best commentator in sports, though. The guy's vocabulary is just absolutely insane. He is a walking dictionary.
It's incredible.
Waffle boarded. So, but yeah. Any other topics you want to talk about tonight? What about I saw Cooper and Stammer both got some big news with the All-Star game coming up. Yeah,
that's awesome, man. Yeah, but I mean, you kind of expected it anyways, just because it's in Tampa.
Right.
But yeah, it's really cool. And how about did you see the Stanley Cup is gonna be on the ship?
Yes.
For Gasparilla.
I did see that.
That's awesome. That's never happened. That's really cool. If you want to, I guess we could try to find the article.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to pull it up real quick.
All right.
Yeah, and Bolts fans, while I'm pulling this up, I mean, don't forget this is your show. We started this show. I know it's only the second episode, but we started this show for you guys. Any content that you want to share, feel free to go to our Facebook page. You'll see the socials going across the ticker below. go give us a like on Facebook, and we have a group called the Bolts with the Boys Thunder Forum, and I'll pull it up here real quick. Basically, I don't know what's going on my screen here. Having some technical difficulties here. I don't know what's going on with my screen. Okay, so anyways, I'm having some technical difficulties with our browser. So basically, what's going on is we have our Facebook page. From the Facebook page, you can actually sign up to go on the Bolts with the Boys Thunder forum, and that's a forum for you guys. You know, you could post anything on there. You could post memes. You can post things like carrying on the discussion from what we're talking about tonight. New topics, any suggestions for what you want to see on the show. You know, this is your show, so we want to deliver the content that you want. I'm going to go ahead, and since we're having the difficulties with the page, I'm going to go ahead and post the link on our Twitter for that article about the Lord Stanley's Cup being on the Gasparilla pirate ship. So how insane is that All-Star Weekend's the same weekend as Gasparilla too?
Sometimes I question what Tampa's doing. So that's
I know, ridiculous, it gets pretty wild down there, eh?
Because it's already going to be crazy enough for Gasparilla. Now you're throwing in the All-Star game.
I know the out-of-towners are going to be like, what is going on with this city?
What in the world? yeah, it's going to
be... It is cool, though. I mean, what other city can say that they have a pirate festival, you know? So I think that's pretty cool.
And it's a good showcase for Tampa in general.
Yeah.
To like show like, hey, we can... You know, we're just as much a hockey town as, or we can be just as much a hockey town as anyone up north.
You know, forget hockey town. Let's just go with hockey paradise.
Hockey paradise, hockey bay.
Was that Phil Esposito that was telling his boys to come down here? They're like, look, we got hockey, we got golf, we got sunshine.
That's the only selling point you need to come play for Tampa. You're gonna win. You're part of a great franchise, great owner, great GM. You know, Steve Yzerman's your GM. Like, I mean, you can wear flip-flops every day of the year.
Yeah, you can wear flip-flops going to the arena and then leave the arena with the top down. Oh, we got another caller.
All right.
How's she going? You're on Bolts with the Boys, fourth period. Who do we got on the line?
Hey, this is Pap calling.
Hey, what's going on, Pap?
I don't know if one of you guys can answer this, but hopefully somebody can. Did you guys catch the call that was called back tonight? The goal that was called back?
Yeah, that was, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, I only saw one replay on it, and the replay that I saw didn't look like it. I didn't catch the replays on Fox Sports or anything like that.
They showed about 5 replays, and none of them showed anything being conclusive of offsides. So I don't know how they were able to overturn the goal. They gave us like 5 or 6 different camera angles on TV.
Yeah.
Has the rule changed or anything? Because
I think it changes by game.
Break the plane, or
I think it changes by game.
I'd love to hear that, because I mean, the goal was scored, and in order for it to be called back, it has to be pretty conclusive.
100% conclusive. There was nothing conclusive there at all.
Okay, so you think the refs blew it, or because
I think Toronto blew it.
Hopefully, one of your other callers or one of your listeners can help explain that one, because to me, it just seemed like robbery. I mean, you had the goal scored. Yeah, true. It may have been offside, but it wasn't conclusive, and so it's like, okay, they didn't call it. It's not conclusive. It's a goal. And
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, there was nothing conclusive. I don't understand how it was called back. But I even said, I looked at Sean. I was like, what are the odds though this is gonna get called back? I'm like, I could see them finding something. Yeah, and they seem to be working really hard to find something wrong.
Well, yeah, even look at the Detroit game.
Maybe one of your listeners will call in that has a different opinion or something like that, because I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it too.
I mean, I know it didn't make a difference in the game, but it happens all the time. The referees they take the game away from the players this way.
Yep.
And the other thing too is how long was that delay? Probably about 10 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. They were trying to find something.
Yeah,
right.
that was Toronto's doing. You know, the guys up in Toronto. I mean, it's insane. It's insane that they can do something like that, delay the game that long, to try and find something and say they found something to bring that goal back. So definitely a good point. Thanks for calling in, Pat.
Yeah. Alrighty. Okay. Take care, guys.
All right. Go Bolts. Yeah, he brings up a good point, and yeah, if anyone else wants to weigh in on that, 727-755-3083, give us a call. We'd love to hear it. But yeah, definitely weird game all around. Weird game and weak, very weak.
It's just it's not good that it's getting more obvious the calls against him. Yeah. Like at first I was like, all right, refs aren't perfect, all that. Well, but man, they're like. The trips were right in front of the officials too, and they weren't calling.
And think about what we're talking about. We're talking about officiating, and how I was just saying the calls coming from Toronto. Imagine playoff season, and they have to play Toronto to get to the Stanley Cup.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be rough.
It's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be rough.
And when your PK can't keep pucks out of the net, I mean Vasilevsky can only do so much. I mean. Yeah, I think he's the second coming of Patrick Waugh. I think he's the second coming of, Marty Brodeur. But yeah,
he's awesome, man. He can't do everything.
But yeah, he can't do everything. I mean, you got your defenseman got to be there. I don't know. I'm very, very mad about the penalty kill and how it's been performing. So
yeah, it's awful. They're not going to be able to maintain playing like that on the penalty kill and get very far in the playoffs. So
yeah, But yeah, I mean, other than that, coming up, we got Calgary, we got Johnny Gaudreau and Jaromir Jagr coming to town, so that'll be interesting. What's your take on it?
I think Calgary is going to be a tough game. I'm intrigued by our road trip though, like Chicago and Nashville back to back. That's going to be tough.
And then the day off and going into Philly.
I'm okay with winning, one of the two, Chicago, Nashville. Obviously, Nashville would be a better win. It would look a lot better. But, yeah, I'm cool with beating Chicago or Nashville, like either one. Win both, actually. But, yeah, Vegas is going to be tough. Philly's always tough. And then you're playing them in Philly, so it's going to be even tougher.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope we can go in somewhat hot into the playoff, or not the playoff, the All-Star break. If we can finish like winning maybe 3 of our last 4, that's good enough for me. So,
yeah, I'd hope so too. But yeah. So I think that's all we really got tonight. Any final comments for you?
Not so much really. It was a good win tonight. They played really sloppy though. I think maybe the Senators might be a little better than Carolina. Because Senators took advantage more of our defensive lapses than Carolina did tonight. So, but
Ward played an excellent game though too.
Gord's.
No, not Gord. Cam Ward.
Oh, Ward.
For Carolina.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Ward's always going to be a top goalie to me in the league. I feel like his name gets lost in the shuffle because you got the Flaherys and Holtby, Vasilevsky, all that. But yeah, Ward's always been a good goalie to me. I've always known how good he is, and he was. We could have scored a lot more than we had. Some crazy good chances. Carolina had some bad defensive lapses. They were looking like us almost, we were looking in a mirror defensively, and we could have had a lot more than 5 goals. But Ward's staying on his head a lot tonight. So it was a good game for Carolina. They played really well. They at least matched us. They didn't lay down, just because we went up 5-3 late in the game. They were like, we're still going to make it tough on you.
Right.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else other than that.
Yeah. I think the big thing here, Tampa, you got to step it up. Let's go Bolts. Come on. You got to play aggressive. Got to play more aggressive. If they could play like they did against Detroit every game,
yeah, in a perfect world, right?
Yeah, in a perfect world. But yeah, that's our final thoughts. Gonna probably wrap up the show here. If you guys have any more thoughts, like I said, please go to our Facebook page. And we have the Bolts with the Boys Thunder forum. You guys can post anything about anything. Anything hockey related. Yeah. Definitely get on there and keep the talk going. Yeah, our social medias are below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we like to end the show. With some stuff from Tampa. Me and Big C are both we're both big music fans, and so we definitely like to feature artists at the end of the show, local artists. So tonight we have a local Tampa punk band called Madtown. And we're going to be featuring their song Bronson. If you want your music to be featured on Bolts with the Boys, feel free to hit us up on Facebook, tweet us, any way you can. We'd love to have you on all genres. We definitely want to showcase all the talent that Tampa has in the community. And so we're going to be signing off. I'm Pappy. This is Big C. Thanks for tuning in for the fourth period. And we're going to close out with Madtown. This song's called Bronson.
Save me!